This is your movie friend. I'm here with Elise, and we're going to talk about Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. Before we get to the topics, before we get to the categories, I want to know, give me some backstory because you're much more familiar with Wallace and Gromit than I am. This is the first Wallace and Gromit project I've ever seen, but you've seen multiple, right?
I'm actually a pretty casual Wallace and Gromit enjoyer. I've seen like Curse of the Were-Rabbit and other things. I like follow the creators and the people that do the claymation, and I like see lots of photos from like I guess the creators and like sets and things because I think that's cool, but I haven't actually engaged with watching a lot of the movies. Um, but I guess primarily Wallace and Gromit rules of the universe are it's distinctly British and it's kind of frightening claymation. Also, my favorite running gag, which they did do in this movie, is that um, Gromit reads books that have like puns in them that are related to being a dog
Uh-huh.
or are like very relevant to the plot. And in this one, he's reading A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf.
I
Um,
saw that, yeah.
when the gnome comes and like invades his room, so it's not a room of one's own. And then the
Ah,
other one, after his garden is destroyed, he's reading Paradise Lost.
that's pretty
So,
funny. That's pretty funny. That's what I didn't realize for whatever reason, like having not consumed any Wallace and Gromit media. I didn't realize one that it was British, and two that it was like good actually. It
mhm.
was just like one of those things where I was like that I thought it was I put it in the same space as something like Flushed Away or whatever or something like that where it's just like
Okay. Flushed Away has its merits.
okay, or just like those like early 2000s or whatever movies that like are just like a lot of slapstick and potty humor and just like not actually good. Kind of like Shrek actually that would fall into that camp. Do you like Shrek?
I like Shrek 2.
Okay, okay, just
Shrek 2 is its own animal, I would say.
okay,
But
fair. I mean that's a fair assessment. But I was happy to see that like it was actually like a good movie, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually like fun. It's the type of comedy movie that I enjoy, where there's like clever humor and puns and like good visual gags and things like that. So I enjoy it. But uh, I think let's hop into the categories. So what did you think of like the voice acting? What do you think? How did you think that was?
I thought it was pretty good. I feel like it's I don't know if it's different voices than the other Wallace and Gromit movies.
I did look
Um,
up. I think the who is it? Wallace is like I think the whatever the original voice actor passed away, so there was a new guy.
okay. I know I just said I didn't know if there was a difference. I guessed that there might
Okay,
have been. Um,
you're correct. You're correct.
um, Gromit, of course, does not have voice roles. I felt like everyone else was just, British. They did they like that on the news broadcast. It was called like Up North News or something. They had a very distinct northern accent, so that was
Okay.
fun. Um,
I also liked. I think it was one of the newscasters too. Philomena Kunk or whatever, whoever does that. She was one of them, and I was like, I like that. That's a good touch. I enjoyed seeing her there. I don't think I really recognized that many else of the British actors, especially not being familiar with Wallace and Gromit.
no, I will say the gnome sounds bothered me.
They bother you?
I did not like them.
I kind of I personally it didn't bother me or whatever. Like I was going around the house afterwards being like, I'm a nifty Norbot. I love to do a job. But you were not. You were like, get those. You're more of on the Gromit side of things.
Yeah, I guess you could call me a stoic. But I was kind of disappointed at the end where I was like, these guys still around?
Oh gosh.
Um,
Yeah. I thought it was. I enjoyed them. I thought they were kind of fun. So I guess I'll be the Wallace to your Gromit. I thought they were humorous, and I really liked. If we're talking about performances or whatever, I really liked the Feathers McGraw.
mhm.
I guess that he's based on the movie, which I think in my quick research that this is like a sequel to a short or whatever, like a little 30-minute short or something like that. So that's where the backstory comes in or whatever. I don't know if Feathers McGraw is in the other shows or the other movies, but I thought he was a really great villain. I thought he was a lot of fun.
I thought he was fun. He's like a semi-recurring character in the
Okay.
universe.
I
Um, which I just like universe notes generally is Wallace and Gromit was not always this diverse. Um, I feel like they made an effort to have people that weren't just white in this one,
That's
or I
good.
guess claymation people, um, which was cool. And I hadn't thought about it, which might say something about me. But like until I watched this movie and I was like, oh, I don't think I've seen a Wallace and Gromit character that's a person of color really
Yeah,
before.
well,
Um,
yeah, good on them for that. Well,
but
I not maybe not good on them, but like appropriate for them to
mhm.
do that. I thought that was good. I liked the who was that? Was it a person of color? The lady cop or whatever.
Lady Cop, yeah.
I thought I enjoyed her or whatever. I enjoyed her dynamic with the chief or whatever. Um,
I liked her character a lot as well. She was fun.
I think go ahead.
I don't know. It's like her plotline's kind of weird though, where it's like contagious, forced, incompetency, where she like starts out like very competent and like doing good job, and then her boss is like encourages her to just be worse.
Yeah, gosh,
um, I don't know.
yeah. Don't ask Wallace and Gromit about ACAB. I don't know, like different conversation. I realized how I said like it was actually a good movie. This is the type of humor that I enjoy. Like and maybe it's like British humor because it did kind of make me think of like Monty Python a little bit. How there's just like some stuff that's like dumb, but it's like funny. Like the fact that like whenever Feathers McGraw is like wearing the little different garments or whatever, people don't recognize him, and then like he takes them off and they're like, "Hey, Feathers McGraw." It's like just
Oh,
that.
the Perry the Platypus gag.
Yes, that kind of gag is just like I just always think that's so fun or whatever. I enjoy that, and just like so much of the it's a very short movie, but like they pack a lot of stuff in there, and I thought the plot was very engaging, and it was like even though I'm watching a movie that's like all ages appropriate or whatever, I was like this is like entertaining for me as like an adult. Like this is a good kids movie. What did you think about the general like story and plot and things?
I think the general story and plot was pretty strong. I wasn't bored at all during it, which is a good sign. Um, um, I it was not predictable in the way that a lot of kids' films are either, I think. And there was enough jokes and like witty dialogue and little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
It was still a fun little romp to go through, especially because there are so many like Wallace and Gromit movies and properties that you run the risk of it becoming sort of formulaic.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like in a way some of them are, but they each are engaging in their
Yeah.
unique way.
I think it's also just like the type of thing like it just is kind of like the perfect representation of like the three act structure or whatever. Like it
Mhm.
feels like you have like your inciting incident and then it builds and then like whatever. And obviously you have in the story of like the whole Lady and the Tramp type thing of like, oh no, someone else, the new baby's here, and now like I'm not getting a lot of attention or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, but just because of the nature of what the movie is, you don't really get a lot of them like moping around and da 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 or whatever. Like because Gromit is like I think a stronger character that he kind of like deals with it, but then he's like looking into it. But and because of the quick runtime, it's not like we're spending a long time of him being like, I know something's going wrong. I know something's going wrong. And it's just like, okay, when is everyone else going to catch up? I feel like you get a little bit of it to pick up on it, and then like, all right, now we're on to the next thing, and then it's being revealed that they're bad, and then we're dealing with that, and we're getting into more of the fun of that. But
I was kind of afraid at the beginning of the movie that it was, I think it was this to a certain extent, that it was just a commentary on like AI and smart homes.
uh-huh. What
Where
did
I
you
was
think
like,
about that?
how far are we going to lean into this? I mean, I support criticizing that, I think. Um, that's why I was partially upset at the end when the garden was still like being tended by the gnomes and was
Yeah.
still like there's like cube shrubs and things. So I was like,
It's like,
oh man. Um, so I do think that was I think that was good commentary. There were a couple lines. I think the police chief is reading out at the like unveiling of the blue diamond.
yeah.
He says like something about police officers being uninformed.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I think
which
that's
is
a
funny. So
yeah, I thought that was good. Uniformed. Oh, I mean uniformed or whatever. Everyone's like, I like that. There were some very good bits in here. However, it was kind of like it reminded me of like a Muppet movie, like the
Hmm.
Great Muppet Caper. Maybe just because there was a bit of a caper. I just love a movie with a good caper with the third act where it really picks up, ramps up the whole what's going on and all the stakes and everything. I was like, this is like good. You just have to respect I guess just how much work went into like creating the whole thing or whatever, creating all the animating all the stuff with stop motion because I'm like, this is like pretty intense or whatever. Especially whenever you just like, I'm so tired. If you're talking about AI or whatever, I'm so tired of seeing so much like AI shit short form video. Like I'll just be scrolling and then I'll see a video and I'll be like, God, it's just AI, and they're trying to like create a clip that like is like a news clip or whatever, and then it's just like a fake thing. I'm like, get this out of my face. Like I want to see some real stuff, and it's just nice to see something with some real stuff.
Even AI images, I get annoyed. Like people at work will like have on their doors like random like AI generated images. I'm like, stop it.
I know, like there's this banh mi place near us, and inside the restaurant they have like food on the walls, like food pictures or whatever, and it's like AI images. I'm like, what are we doing?
Like you guys just killed like 20 trees for this
Gosh,
stupid image of a bacteria that has eyes. Um that agitates me. But I've always been a really big fan of claymation and stop motion. Like one of my films that I will defend to this day is Kubo and the Two Strings.
I've never seen it.
Um, I it's such a good movie, such a good soundtrack, and really cool claymation. It's Laika, the same studio
Yeah,
that did Coraline. Um,
which Coraline's really good too.
mhm. So I like it better than Coraline.
Interesting. Hot
Um,
takes here.
but I think claymation is it has to be a labor of love because of just how much goes into it and how long it takes. Um, you're not doing claymation just for fun. Unlike
Fair.
um, I don't know. I especially because I have a lot of feelings about animated movies in general right now. Especially because Disney and Pixar are increasingly shifting towards like a more homogenous style that's very clearly more computer generated.
Yeah.
Um, and that's upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Uh, I just
I
feel
mean,
like we're losing a lot of artistry in animation, and things are just being like pumped out as quickly as possible without much thought for them
yeah.
as art or as a product. So,
That's what I mean, you can, especially with Disney, you can talk about like how Moana 2 was its whole thing, and then even doing the live action Lilo and Stitch or whatever, and how that was like so made so much money. But if I will note, which maybe is kind of bad because I've heard is a good movie, is Elio or whatever, is which I didn't see like any marketing for that movie. So if I didn't see it, then I feel like no wonder like it's kind of bombing a little bit. But I hear it's actually like kind of a good movie. But the art style is so like it doesn't draw me in. I'm like I've like this. I was like this looks like Turning Red. This looks like Luca. This looks like so many other things that I've seen before. I'm like you're not drawing me in, and with the plot, and you're not drawing me in with the animation. I'm like I don't really care. And I guess I'll see it at some point, but like, because I'm hearing it's a good movie. But like, if I didn't hear it was a good movie, I would have just completely skipped that one.
yeah, I feel like Disney Pixar is slowly easing into this animation style that reads to me like corporate minimalism advertising. Like like very simple, smooth shapes.
Yeah,
And like I don't know. I wish they would do something different because I feel like they've had some cool concepts as of late. I saw that Elementals or whatever movie
Yeah.
that was. That was like nothing to me, but I feel like Luca is like an interesting concept. And then they had that one with like Tom Holland, I think, and Chris Pratt were
Oh
in it.
yeah, Onward or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, same type of thing. Even
Uh,
Raya and the Last Dragon, maybe not quite so similar, but it's just all that sort of round, cuddly animation.
hmm. I guess
Um,
Soul too. That was a movie that
yeah.
that
So
happened.
for a movie with soul in its title, the it's such a like dull looking movie. And I know part of that's like, oh, this is the real world, and then like this is the like afterlife or whatever. But I'm like, even still, like this is a kind of a dull movie to look at. Like this is
Yeah.
animation should be like one of the most like vibrant. I don't know. I don't know. Like
Because you can literally do anything. You have endless possibilities to create anything you want, but this is what they're giving us, and
yeah,
that's upsetting. It's like, I don't know, my one of my favorite things to point at for like animation that I really enjoy is 101 Dalmatians. If you look at it, like the watercolor backgrounds that you can
yeah.
tell are like done individually by artists. Like, I don't know. Do
You
that again.
to bring
But
back you got to go watch Look Back. You got to see Look Back because it also talks a little bit about that. There's specifically someone who's very good at backgrounds as a character in the story, so I think you'll
okay.
enjoy. But I know we're talking a little bit about it. Let's switch over to
I really like the vibes. I think there's a lot of like visual gags and just like little details that you can pick out throughout the movie that are really fun. Even, I don't know, like the book thing I mentioned earlier, or like I think the cereal Gromit eats are called like
yeah.
brown flakes. Um,
I just think it's just yeah. I just really appreciate, like you said, it's just you said like a labor of love. There's just so much care and intention put into it. And it's like, I want to pay attention now because you clearly are showing me that if you pay attention, you're going to get treated for that. I'm going to get my little treats. And so it's like, okay, well now I got to pay attention. I don't want to, I'm not going to second screen this or whatever because I'm going to miss something.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little things and I don't know. There's a lot of creativity, especially, I don't know, Wallace has all his gadgets,
Yeah.
which are fun to look at. Even though like the character design is pretty simple, like they're pretty unchanged
Yeah.
throughout all of the media that Wallace and Gromit are in. And honestly, Wallace's design is like a little, I don't know, uncanny, like maybe uncomfortable to look at. But I feel like that in itself kind of lends its self well to like the zaniness of
Yeah.
like a very generic bald like man who's a
Yeah.
little creepy looking. Um, but the world is so like rich and it's so stylized that I feel like it works well.
Yeah. And just how they'll make some of the sets and locations like so big. Like whenever they're on like the bridge at the end, I'm like, how did you make this? I'm like, how big is this set in actuality? Or like whenever they're doing the whole thing with the sub in the basement, I'm like, this is insane. Like I have no idea like how you created water or whatever. I'm just like, this is very, very incredible. Like you have to respect it of just, you
Hmm.
know, how good it is. It's the type of thing that I to speak to Oscar nominations for a second. It did get nominated for Best Animated Feature um, at the Oscars this past year. So shout out to that. It is the type of thing that I'm like, man, like maybe this should have won. I don't know if you ever watched Flow, but it was like it's okay. People really like that movie. People really like the Wild Robot, but like I don't know, man. This is more my speed. I really like the vibes. I really like the aesthetics. I just like the whole tone of the piece. I like the robots. I like those nifty Norbots. But I think that it's like the type of people who made this movie. It's like I want to hang out with these people because they're probably fun to hang out with.
I would agree. And then I guess backtracking just a little bit, the one thing that kind of surprised me was on the bridge scene that you mentioned,
Yeah,
that's like very large. When with the explosion, it's like a very stereotypical like movie explosion, and it's like that looks like it's overlaid, and I thought it was funny, but it was also like, I don't know if that fits in with everything else.
yeah,
Because I don't know. That was the one thing where I felt like I was like, I don't know if how I feel about this stylistically, but
Yeah, because like was did it like not look like stop motion what they did there?
no, it kind of looked like a very generic explosion effect.
Okay, I got you.
Um, but other than that, I feel like everything was very, I think, like
Okay.
put together.
But how do you think this stacks up to other Wallace and Gromit movies? Particularly, I guess, like Curse of the Were Rabbit, which I know is like a favorite of
Mhm.
yours.
Um, I would say it holds up pretty well. Um, I think the characters are fun and it was a pretty compelling plot. I would say I like Curse of the Were Rabbit better.
Okay.
Um, just because I feel like that one, I don't, it's just for me at least a classic.
Uh-huh.
And there are very memorable like lines and gags from that one ingrained in my brain. Um, but I would say it's pretty true to the franchise, and it's not at all just like a throwaway continuation. Like, I don't know, what are we on, like Paddington 14?
Yeah.
So
I think just three. I think just three Paddington.
um, but I guess I would place those like in a similar category of things, but they're executed in completely different ways.
Mm.
Um,
Did you like
where
any of the Paddington movies?
I've not been inspired to see any of them, so I'm actually just not speaking on
Okay.
any real grounds.
People,
Just
people
vibes.
say the second one's like a masterpiece. I saw the first one and I thought it was like okay, but
Okay.
I thought I was like I kind of get it or whatever, but it did feel like I was like this is a little for kids or whatever. Like I don't know. I
I
think
don't know. I saw that I've like seen stuff about the most recent one, and I that this one looks like why?
yeah, that's what I really got the sense of Paddington in Peru that it was like, not the same level as the others. Like people were, there was that moment where Paddington 2 like literally was like rated higher than Citizen Kane or whatever. That did not happen for this one.
I mean, that's fair. Citizen Kane is Citizen Kane, but
Wait, you don't like Citizen Kane?
it's fine. It's
I think I think Citizen Kane is very. I'm not like a defender of Citizen Kane to any degree. Like I'm not going to be like, no, it's like the best movie ever because that's like such a boring thing to pick. I think it's just very impressive to be able to be accomplished at that time. Like that, it still like holds up. Like if you made that movie today and it looks like exactly like that, I'd be like, yeah, that's like a 2025 movie.
that's fair.
I think.
I don't know. I would say I don't find the plot of Citizen Kane to be compelling. Um,
It's for the boys. Sorry,
maybe so, but
but oh, did you think any memorable lines from this Wallace and Gromit movie?
oh, I feel like the gnome lines memorable. Um,
I am a nifty Norbot. I love to do a job.
I feel like I have more memories of like general themes, like
Uh,
the padding machine and then
yes.
the teapot. Um, and then the police one.
Mhm.
Uh, uninformed police officer.
Uninformed police officer. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. I do kind of agree with you that like it seems to be saying something about AI and like robots, but then it kind of pulls back and doesn't really like say, oh, they're bad. It's kind of like maybe we can exist in harmony, which is maybe the reality that we actually will live in. But it's like, come on,
Hmm.
no, just like kill all the robots or whatever. But I don't know. We just have to make the robots good. That's all we have to remember is don't give them a evil setting. That's what we have to remember.
It's like it could have turned into a NordVPN ad if you were trying really hard. Is what the movie felt like. It was like we're maybe saying things about how we're too attached to technology and how we need to be more present in life so we can value our relationships. Um, but also by the end of the movie, we're just gonna ignore that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't know. It is
don't
interesting.
plug
Like,
your smart home device into a like network that can be tampered with. Maybe
yeah.
is the moral. I don't know.
I don't know. It is funny how like there is a version of this movie. Not that they would ever make it, but
Mhm.
where like Wallace is like Mark Zuckerberg, like just unleashing terrible technology on the world. It's like no. Um,
Honestly, that's kind of what Wallace is. He's just not successful enough.
yeah, you know, he's not successful enough to be Elon Musk, or you know, maybe he is successful enough to be Elon Musk. The question to end all questions: would you recommend this to your movie friend?
I would recommend this to my movie friend, but the caveat is that maybe not as the first Wallace and Gromit film that you ever watch.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I would definitely, as someone who had not watched any of the other Wallace and Gromit stuff, I felt like I was missing a little bit, but like I was able to figure it out. Like they do a pretty good job of that, and I was like, yeah, I definitely would recommend this to pretty much anyone, my movie friend or anyone. I'm like, this is just like a good movie that like I I, I don't really see any pushback to be like, oh, that was just kind of like bad or whatever. I think if it may not be someone's thing, but I think generally like it's just a good movie. So I definitely recommend it to my movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other notes? Any other things before we wrap up?
No.
Okay. Cool. All right, Elise. Thank you so much being with us today, and we'll see you again next time.
See ya.
Yay!